I'm John Cetra from the firm of Cetra Ruddy, and we're the architects designing the new Lincoln Square Synagogue. With great pleasure for me that I was able to partake in some of the services and got to know many members of the congregation, and spent a lot of very memorable days with you all. And I hope that the building that we create for you is something that you will feel excited about for a long time to come. And it was in some of those early meetings and experiences where we really got a sense of what the community was all about, and how important this building was, and how you all came together in ways that were, of course, spiritual, but there was also a very strong sense of community that we all got. And we felt that it had something to do with the kind of spaces that you were using, and we wanted to really build on that. One of the very unique characteristics of your current building was the round sanctuary, and the way that the seating works there, and how in speaking to many people, a lot of people had good feelings about it. Some people didn't like things about it, but it was something that was very unique, and we always felt that in the design of the new synagogue, we wanted to bring something of that spirit and of that space into this building. We came upon the idea that there were five bands that were running through the facade of the building. And there was coincidentally, these 5 bands we saw as symbolic of the 5 books that are in the Torah. Things were happening. There was kind of a gelling of the concept and the architecture with what we saw in the interior, and the functions of the spaces and how they would work, even with the symbolism within your religion. We were very excited about that. The 2 verticals that you see that frame these bands were something that we saw that was a kind of a symbol of the scrolls of the Torah. You know, when the Torah is opened up and the paper is laid out, and the way that it slightly rises from the table, and the shapes of it themselves and the proportion. Those were things that really inspired us. The other very interesting thing about that, how you bring that sense of fluidity and space into the building. We saw that in the existing synagogue. There was a very small lobby, and it wasn't necessarily conducive to the number of people going in and out of the sanctuary. It got very crowded there. We wanted to try to create a space within the building where people could spill out, where they could, either when they're coming in, they'd have enough room, that you could park strollers, you could take off your coat. There would be all the things that you would just normally want to be there would be taken care of right there when you came in. And the space was big enough so that a couple of hundred people could stand in there and be comfortable. And after services, that a kiddush could actually take place within that space, was something that, again, would foster the sense of community within a space that we hope and we think will be a beautiful area. That all leads up to the main event, which is really within the sanctuary itself. And as I had suggested before, the round form of the current synagogue was important, but we wanted to also mark the time that this is a new time and a new place. And so we took that idea and began to shape it, not so much as a pure round form as the old, but in something that was kind of a horseshoe shape, which would lend maybe more of a focus toward the center, but also toward the arc as well, so that there was something similar about what we did, but yet you'll see in the plan and in the sketches that we've done, something which also has an intimacy and a special feeling about it. The way that the glass curves in the front of the building will allow natural daylight to come in and filter through behind the arc and above it to create a glow, and that's where it should be. That's we're one of the main important focuses of the space. We've made, I think, a big improvement in terms of how people get into the sanctuary, because now, as everyone comes in from one location, you're always sort of on stage when you walk into the sanctuary. We are designing it in a way so that while services are going on, people will be able to move in from the back, from the west side of the space, and be able to come into the sanctuary without disturbing what's going on at that moment. I think that will be a big improvement. There'll also be a space outside of that area which will provide some acoustical separation from what's happening in the main lobby and what's happening in the sanctuary. We're very concerned about acoustics, and the sanctuary ceiling, which is still under development, is designed in a way to radiate sound from the center, but yet to do it with a richness, to pick up on the richness of the cantor, of those who are speaking there, and have their voices heard throughout the space in a way that will resonate. The back of the building will have a series of terraces and outdoor spaces off of classrooms, which can be used for events, weddings, and special occasions on a number of levels, and may even be available for play at certain times. And they'll be protected with high enough fences so that it'll be a safe environment for children as well. The building is 3 levels above grade and 2 levels below grade. There'll be a large banquet facility which will be created below to give Lincoln Square Synagogue a state-of-the-art facility for banquets. And that space will hold about 450 people, almost 500 people seated. So activities and weddings and things like that will happen in the sanctuary can move down through a very grand and open stair that will be filled with light, and so you'll be able to go down through into the building to that lower level and enjoy the festivities that will be going on there. So we're very excited about this project because it's something that is so unique. It's not every day that we as architects get an opportunity to design a brand new synagogue, and it's the kind of building and the kind of use that means so much and is so important to so many people. The kind of dedication that everyone has in working on this project in our office is truly extraordinary. I see people working on this project sitting at their desk with smiles on their face. So it makes me happy to know that everybody is really into this project and enjoying it. And so I thank you all, and look forward to showing you further development in the future.